Soyez la bienvenue au ministère des Affaires étrangères du Royaume des Pays-Bas. En l'honneur de notre lauréat d'aujourd'hui, je commencerai par quelques mots en français avant de poursuivre en anglais. Nous sommes aujourd'hui le 10 décembre, journée internationale des droits humains qui célèbre l'adoption formelle en 1948 de la Déclaration universelle des droits de l'homme par l'Assemblée générale des Nations unies. Et afin de marquer cette date, les Pays-Bas ont créé un prix annuel récompensant une personne ou une organisation qui s'est montrée exceptionnellement courageuse dans la défense et la promotion des droits de l'homme dans le monde. La Tulip des droits de l'homme. En décernant cette tulipe, les Pays-Bas n'honorent pas seulement le courage, car il existe déjà de nombreux prix qui rendent hommage au effort des défenseurs des droits de l'homme et aux résultats obtenus. La tulipe est unique car elle soutient et encourage une méthode de travail. La marque distinctive d'un vrai gagnant de la tulipe, c'est son esprit d'innovation, l'approche neuve et créative qui caractérise son action. Aujourd'hui, j'ai le privilège de remettre la tulipe des droits de l'homme 2015 à l'initiative pour la résurgence du mouvement abolitionniste, l'IRA-Mauritanie, qui se consacre à la lutte contre l'esclavage en Mauritanie, et je sais aussi dans les autres pays. Et je tiens à souhaiter tout particulièrement la bienvenue à M. Abidine Merzouk, coordinateur européen de ce mouvement. On vous donne beaucoup de possibilités de parler et de venir ici dans quelques minutes. L'esclavage, slavery, one of the oldest and most common human rights violations. More than 200 years ago, at the beginning of the 19th century, liberty was the exception. Despite the lofty ideals proclaimed by the American and French revolutions, slavery was the norm. 3/4 of humanity was unfree, living in some form of bondage. Slavery wasn't alien to our society, it was part and parcel of our country's economy. As every Dutch person knows, the Kingdom of the Netherlands is partly European and partly Caribbean. The countries of the Kingdom share a long and colorful history. Having a shared history means having shared feelings and memories, some of which are extremely painful. And our history of slavery is the most painful memory of all. In 2001, the Dutch government expressed deep regret at the Netherlands' past involvement in slavery. The sentiment reiterated many times over by later governments, including the one that I serve. Slavery is a lamentable page in our history. We must never forget what happened. Slavery was and remains abhorrent. It is a sad fact that although it has been outlawed internationally, millions of people still live in conditions of slavery worldwide. And the Kingdom of the Netherlands remains fully committed to assist in eradicating modern-day slavery. 200 years ago, slavery was the norm, not just in the Americas and Africa, but also in Asia, the Middle East, and large parts of Europe. Fortunately, awareness grew slowly that accepted practices aren't necessarily acceptable practices. Awareness grew that commonplace behavior could go against the general principles of what was then called natural law. And in the wake of that growing awareness, the fight against slavery became the first global human rights campaign. And it is a very sad reflection of our times that we are here today to praise IRA-Mauritania as the modern-day torchbearer in this struggle. Modern slavery has many faces. Millions of men, women, and children are still bought and sold into forced prostitution, domestic servitude, or bonded labor on farms or in factories. Families are forced to pay off debts supposedly incurred by previous generations. And prepubescent girls are forced into sham marriages where they are held prisoner, or even worse. Europeans may think this is an alien phenomenon. Sometimes that doesn't concern us very much anymore, but it's also there and here in Europe. But think again also in other areas. In Eritrea, for example, conscription is an 18-month draft, mandatory for all men and unmarried women. But this time limit is blatantly disregarded, and most conscripts end up spending their whole lives working for the state. They are forced to labor under very poor conditions in dangerous occupations.